All right, so it's 8:30 now, and we shall start our sessions, our Jom Zero Waste Community live stream. So if let's say you are just joined because of event history, we could just briefly introduce about what is actually this whole Jom Zero Waste community live stream about. So it's a live stream, community live stream that we have for the entire May. And yeah, unfortunately, today will be our last live stream for the month. Yeah, so basically this community live stream is all about a series for us to still share about zero waste lifestyle and also sustainable lifestyle in general, in conjunction during this period of time, because all of our offline engagement has been postponed. So that's why we have this online live stream. Yeah, so hope some of you have been enjoying so far. And yeah, so if let's say you have any feedback regarding to our community live stream, do let us know, because your feedback will help us to improve further, right? All right, so my name is Sui. I will be your host of the day, and very honored to be able to host these sessions with our friend Julian from Event History. So yeah, please join me to welcome Julian. And although we cannot clap, but we still can have like virtual clap to Julian. Yeah, so maybe Julian could give us some introductions about yourself.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So my name is Julian, the co-founder of Event History with Leven. So just too bad she cannot make it for this live session, but I think she's probably watching the live right now.
Oh, is
you
it?
Guys?
Okay.
Probably. So yeah, so Event History is a full service event company specialized in planning sustainable events based in Klang Valley. So it's my pleasure to be here with you guys in Zero Waste. So yeah, just leave your comment below if you have any questions.
Yay! Yeah, so leave your questions below if you have any questions regarding to a low waste or zero waste wedding or event. Yeah, so I will continue with mentioning about the topic of today. So very obviously that I have stated on the title and also the captions regarding to today's session. So today's sessions will be all about, is it possible to organize a low waste wedding? And also we have our guest speakers, Julian from Event History, who is a company that has already begun their low waste wedding or event planning in general. Yeah, so so I guess maybe we could have Julian to share more about what is event history in general and what do event history do. And yeah, so I will pass you the mic.
Okay. Yeah, so at Event History, we got two core values. And so one is sustainable events and one is community over competition. So these values really help us to shape our company culture and to ensure that we are all working towards on the same vision. So for sustainable events, it's pretty straightforward and very easy to understand. So every event we plan will focus on socially responsible, environmental friendly, and sustainable practice. So it's all about like giving back to empower our community and thinking critically about like the choices we make to bring the low impact. At the same time, we also like without compromising on our clients' requirements. So when we are looking into do more sustainable events, at the same time, we're also actively looking out for like-minded vendors, which related to our second core value, the community over competition. So Leven and I believe that so much more we can done together to empower each others in this industry. So we work with vendors, we work with NGOs, and we even work with event planners as well. So yeah, so these two kind of the value giving us the direction. So every single decision we make, we align with these values.
Nice. Yeah, I guess that you mentioned a very important point is that you are not just also mentioning about being socially responsible and also environmental conscious, but you also at the same time to connect with like-minded people, especially all the how we say that eco-friendly vendors. So it's sort of building a very good relationship, and most importantly a very sustainable ecosystem to build a sustainable model, and you are actually at the same time provide more potential job opportunities to all the potential businesses out there.
Yeah, so it's not just about like, I mean, it's quite hard for us to mention like who is eco-friendly vendors, but just being more like, you know, just bring more thoughts like while you're planning for the weddings. I think it kind of like helping everyone to work towards on the same goal.
Yeah, which is something very, very valuable, and also a very, very important values. Yeah. And by the way, if let's say any of you from Zero Waste Malaysia who do not know that Eventistry is also endorsed under our Zero Waste Pledge Certification Program. Yeah. So they are one of the company who is under the list of Zero Waste Pledge certifications. So if let's say you would like to check more about informations, or you have businesses that would like to go green, check out our Zero Waste Pledge certifications to see if you would be able to endorse, and at the same time being able to inspire more businesses to be more aware about the environmental consumptions and also the overall footprint. Yeah, so thank you, Julian, for introducing Eventistry in general, and also your important partner, Levin. Sorry, Levin. Okay, Levin. Yeah, I hear a lot from Julian. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess we back to the topic is that very, very lucky that because right now you are endorsed under the Zero Waste Pledge certifications, and also I think the main point that we would like to emphasize today is all about the your recent launch program, which called Love Not Wasted package. Yeah. So maybe you could let us know, like you launched this last month, right? So maybe you could brief us like what's the objective of this package, and also why you have this Love Not Wasted package.
Yeah. Okay. So for Love Not Wasted package is our full wedding planning package service, including all the vendor service. So it's designed with sustainable and ethical practice in mind. So we're also working with wedding vendors and NGOs hand in hand. We communicate with them and discuss with them about so they are committed to the standard practice of producing less or to no waste in every single category, like photographers, decorators, caterer, throughout each event, which we can discuss more later details, like in which category. So why we launched this package, because we also found that in our past experience, in order to manage the amount of the waste we create from an event, we need to basically to control the whole process from very beginning until the end. So that's why we come out with this package. So to do a sustainable event can't just only be one-sided. We really need to talk with our vendors to understand how is their usual practice. Then we come out with the solution so that we are able to keep track on how much wastage that we are created, and we try to eliminate as much as possible. So at here, we really want to thank all the vendors who be part of the Love Not Wasted, because we are keep buzzing them with a lot of questions, and they are really putting a lot of effort to answering, to come up with the alternative and also with the solution. So really thank them for with the effort.
I can totally feel you when you say that to communicate with all the vendors, because we also organize our Malaysia First Zero Waste Festival and also second festival. When it comes to communicate, especially during our first festival, when it comes to communicate with the vendors, it's actually quite painful, but also very exciting, because you totally can feel that a lot of vendors that would really wanted to push the awareness out there, but also they might be also afraid that can we do that? Is it necessary to go that far with this zero waste concept? But this is something that we actually really wanted to have the responsibility, not just from our side, but also from every party that involved in the project or involved in the plan. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, so that's why thank you for them to really accommodating all the requests.
Thank you for all the vendors who is under the Love Not Wasted package. Yeah, love not wasted package. Yeah, so maybe we could go in depth with when it comes to like a zero waste wedding. Yeah, so I actually before that, I'm also curious about like how long does it take you to launch this package?
So for this one, actually, it just happened quite naturally. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, we mentioned like since we are doing sustainable events, so while we're planning that time, we kind of like getting more vendors to know more vendors. So at that
Mm-hmm.
time, we kind of like planning the package already. But I mean, when we plan these things and we just realize, hey, why not? Because in order to control everything, so we just come out like, hey, why not we just do a package that which you can just communicate in advance. So I mean, I won't say it's very fast. We plan this package. It take quite a long time, but it's just that we do it since very beginning. So it's quite naturally we come up this package.
I see, I
Mm-mm-mm.
see. Yeah, so when it comes to
Yeah.
so maybe we could go further with this love not wasted package. So when it comes to in terms of a zero waste wedding or in overall like a low waste wedding, like in terms of the whole planning, like what kind of I believe that there's a lot of aspect, right, in terms of like potential food waste or
Yeah.
venues or even the decorations. It's I mean, it requires a lot of resources, of course,
Yes.
and at the
Mm-mm.
same time, if you do not really aware, maybe a lot of wastage can be also produced. So maybe we could cover a bit on like in terms of food waste. How do you actually deal with food waste when it comes to an event like this? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in order to achieve a zero waste wedding, so it simply means that you just have to be more mindful in the planning or planning your event while giving some thought for the community and the planet. So, I mean, for the food waste, I mean, should be like the big part of the wastage that will be contribute in a wedding. So, like usually for that, when it's come to the food, then we definitely since very beginning we have been like discussing all the wastage things. So I also feel maybe it's important to think about the prevention. So
Yeah.
yeah, because instead of like wastage, maybe we can come up with the prevention first. Then only we come out like, okay, since there's like the wastage, then what we can do. So by prevention, while choosing a menu, which is very important to fit with your guests. So for
Mm,
example, like if your guests they have extremely Chinese palate, but you go with Western sit down menu, so you just give them a steak as a main course, it's definitely go wasted because these are not what they like. So
mm,
and the second thing you can consider is the amount of the food being served. Like obviously we also don't want the guests to be still hungry at the end of the event, but
yeah.
it's good to be realistic about how much food you really need. So work with your caterer and to plan appropriate amount for your guest list. So you
Mm,
can see like usually 3 course plated dinner is quite a good idea to avoid the excess food. And also for like Chinese banquet, there's one idea I like from my couple. So they reduce the courses from four to 8 courses instead of like 9 courses.
oh,
So
okay.
which is like you're spending the same amount of the money on the menu, but you're serving lesser but better food,
Yeah.
which is I think is quite for that
Yeah,
one.
because
So there's many.
yeah, because when it comes to
Sorry.
especially when it comes to my personal experience, I do not really enjoy myself attending like a very typical Chinese wedding. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but because I will feel very bad. I mean, in a very typical Chinese wedding, the traditional one, right? Yeah. So you attend to a hall, and you will be served a lot of food. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the day, um, you won't be able to finish a lot of courses, I guess, because I think also a lot of people they do not have a big stomachs to fit in all the food. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, meal planning is definitely a very important aspects, but it's
Mm-hmm.
very like what do you think about like a serving like buffet? Because I also know that like buffet might be also uh quite wasteful compared to
Yeah.
a set. a set, maybe 3 course.
Usually set is the most, I can say most, not say like you won't really go excessive of food, but buffet and Chinese banquet is the thing that usually will go wasted. So that's why we really have to think about like, because you especially buffet. So last time what we did for our previous couple, they would just pre-cook first, like certain amount. Then when the food is running out, they only cook another one. I mean another batch, which is I feel is quite a good idea also when you doing for the buffet. So I mean, if really like there's so many things we can done, we have put a lot of thoughts, then it really come with like wastage, then perhaps we can work with some of the NGOs that willing to pick up your food from the wedding and send it to the needy family. Like we work with What a Waste before, and we have worked with so they are being very professional and they have their own SOP. So what they did is like they understand your guest packs and what time the event ends, and also with your menu. So they will advise which menu that can keep and which food that you can keep and how many tables they need to arrange for the food. So when the dinner ends, they will come and keep the food. They will scale the food and put it in the Tupperware. So after that, they will straight send it to the needy family.
Like to charity home?
Yes, so not just charity home, orphanage, they also with like maybe some of the like underprivileged families. So the best thing is they will come up with a report. So to consolidate the total food being rescued and how many beneficial families, which is, I mean, it's quite a good thing because for the couple, they get to see like how many people they are able to help. At the same time, they also like, while they are celebrating, they get to help people. So they will feel like more satisfied a bit.
Yeah. I guess as long as you actually generate like a positive impact, I believe the couples will feel very, very fortunate and also very grateful about, and also become more aware in the future when they go for anything, because you as a conscious company who are actually doing this will also indirectly inspire the couples.
So this is some of the things that we can consider, and also we also can like talk to our caterers, maybe try to avoid using the single-use cutleries and or maybe tissue. Try to choose like cloth napkin, tableware, or like plates. So rather just use a portable one. So it's less wastage. At the same time, your wedding also look more classy, without plastic.
Yeah, because I also agree that reusable more classy and then more presentable in general, because it's your big day. It's so ugly to use the single use during your big day.
True, right? It's like very then you just put it there, then not that nice. So with napkin it looks better, so it look more presentable, more classy, which is, I mean, it helps for your decoration also.
Nice. Oh, we have a questions from Kamini. She asked that, like, can you give us some example of what's included in the Love Not Wasted package? Or maybe Kamini is going to be married soon.
So we got different package. We got 3 package. So in the package we have included like the basic one is photographers and some basic decoration, which is later we can go through like more details from there. Then also with like our planning service, and also the gown rental. So we have like depends on vendors. We also have one gown rental as well, and the makeup session. So these are the things that is the basic one. So if you want, you can add on with the caterer or maybe like other like wedding favors options. So if you're really interested in, you can just PM us, then one of our planners will get back you.
Yeah, Kamini say next year she needs to plan now. Cool. So Kamini, do PM Eventistry if you want to have more information. But also you can already read some. You can already read some articles on their website already. Hey. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we covered the food in terms of food waste, and in fact, I guess like food waste is it's one of the biggest aspect in terms of the potential waste in a wedding or in an event. But how about like is there any considerations when it comes to choosing a venue, and how does a venue selections will impact or affect any potential waste?
Yeah. So when it comes to venue, I think the first thing that you might need to consider is the number of the guest packs first.
Okay.
Yeah, because now, I mean, the smaller packs and intimate wedding. So if you have like smaller packs of intimate wedding, you have a better control on the whole process in terms of like budget, leftover food, and you get to be more creative in your venue selections. Like if you are the couple which is very adventurous, then you can go for like garden, or maybe go for waterfall, beach wedding, or maybe you can go with some of the venue that which is like cafe, that which is very meaningful for both of you, or your favorite restaurant, or maybe even you can do it at your home garden, which is, I think, if you follow a smaller packs of the wedding, you get to like be more creative on your venue selection. And also because now, due to the pandemic, with the mass gathering ban and the social distancing practice in place, this can be an upcoming trend wedding we foresee.
Like a small scale kind of wedding.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So the good thing of the small wedding, which is you still can remain the element of the traditional weddings, but at the same time you also can keep it simple without the additional fuss like coming from a larger celebration. Like most of the things that our brides will complain, like, I'm not able to take photo, I'm not able to talk to my guests, so you get to have like very simple, but at the same time you also get to like enjoy the moments for your celebration.
I see. Okay, we have quite a good question on Instagram. Maybe I could read it out here. So from zerowaste.feed, I know who is she. She's her name is Su Hui. Maybe she's going to marry also. So she asked, what other waste are created at weddings aside from food waste, and any hidden waste people tend to miss planning ahead? Any mistake made before? Can share experiences?
I think there's no secret that food and decoration contribute the most amount of the waste. And it's really like it end up in a landfill when it's very easy to could be just compost or donated. So the one of the things that we can talk about is like for the decoration, usually we can try to talk with the decorator not to use flower foam.
The kind of like the green like color box thing, and then for people to yes, the flower.
Okay. Yeah. So usually all the table centerpiece and all the wedding arch that you have to chuchuk the flowers, so they will be using a flower foam. So instead you can ask the decorator to use it like hand tie bouquet as a table centerpiece. So maybe after the wedding, it's easier for the guests to take it back as well. Use it as a home decor. Or maybe you can just donate the flower to the hospital and let the wedding flowers to like, provide joy for someone else after the event.
Oh, you can donate flowers to hospital. Hospital accept.
To hospital. Some of the hospital they accept. I mean, one of my friends, he is a nurse, and he mentioned kind of like things before. But we never done that. But usually all the guests, they were very happy to take back the flowers.
I see. Yeah. If I have a wedding, if I have a lot of flowers at the venue, I definitely will bring back to do it as like dry flower for decorations or whatsoever.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Okay. So for the decoration wise, I also think you can ask your your florist to use like local seasonal blooms instead of like imported flowers. It's from like carbon footprint perspective. So like by opting the local source floral, you not only just like local farmers, but also you also get to reduce the emission from shipping the blooms overseas.
Right.
But to be honest, right now we still can't able to find a supplier that's able to deliver the fresh flower without the plastic. Usually when you have the fresh flower, they will have like a plastic wrap on it.
To keep the moisture, I guess, right?
Yeah. So that's why we also come out with some, I mean, in our package also, we will come out with some different themes and idea also. Perhaps you can consider about potted plant as a centerpiece. So it's one of our favorite zero waste wedding tips also. You can have like succulent, you can have mixed herb or potted plant, can be used as a fun centerpiece. So it's a bonus for you guys. You can just save up the cost. It's not only just for the table centerpiece. You also can use it as a wedding favors for your guests to take back home.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very nice nice suggestions with having, instead of the bouquet of flowers, you can do like the flowers already on the pot, so you can bring that home because you already have a home for them.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Nice.
So you can consider like different themes. So like you can consider like dried flowers, because our decorator, they also use, I mean, if the fresh flower they think is quite good condition, they will do it as a dried flower and use it for the decoration also.
Okay, cool. So and then we have a quick yeah, we have a questions on Instagram as well from rag.us. Is it US or UA? Okay, I actually key in wrongly on Facebook. It's okay. Yeah, so she or he asks which aspect of an event is the hardest to go low waste or zero waste?
Which aspect? Let me think. This is a good question. Probably it's makeup, because to be honest, it's quite hard for us to get an eco-friendly makeup artist, or it's quite hard for us to ensure 100% eco-friendly makeup, because like right now we don't have enough solution, or the refill options are not visible at the moment, especially in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And also it's not really practical if you want the makeup artist to swap all the eco-friendly product. And the most important thing is we also worry that the eco-friendly product, whether it's like they are able to tahan too long, or you can achieve the look or not. So since our goal is to eliminate as much waste as possible, so come back to the same thing. We just have to be more conscious on the way they use product, extending until the end of the life of all the material, instead of like just keeping buying a new makeup in different bags of different colors like lipstick. So that which is like they never actually being able to use them. So which is, I feel makeup is quite challenging. So but I mean, for our package, usually the eyelashes normally is complimentary in the package, but we charge in this package.
So you charge in this package?
Because we find that like different, not really all the couples, they might not need the eyelashes now. So means for our makeup artists, they will try to enhance the bride's eyelashes naturally rather than just use the fake one, unless the bride really request or they really need that. And also after that, when they use the eyelashes, the makeup artist will teach them how to wash that, how to clean that, and how to keep it so they can reuse again. Maybe not a lot of time, but at least like you still can reuse like some of the time as well.
I guess when you mentioned about this, I would really wanted to help all the zero waster out there here. I think they are very, very happy already. I mean, like, very, very appreciate with Eventistry care about this tiny little potential waste, which is eyelashes. They also care about this small little thing. So it's quite thoughtful lah. And then I was also very, very amazed when we first have conversations about, you're also taking account of this small little fake eyelashes as a potential waste. Yeah, but it does matter if you have like 100 weddings a year, which is 100 fake eyelashes that's going to the landfill.
200, because one day, maybe they use it 2 times, 2 different eyelashes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's times 2. Yeah.
So makeup artist, I think, is quite, I mean, for makeup, it should be quite challenging part. So also, like, even though there's a reusable cotton pad that we can use, but due to the hygiene problem, so we also try to just lessen the usage of the cotton pad and tissue. And actually, because our makeup artist, she also kind of like zero waste, no waste advocates. So she will using like the handkerchief instead of like tissue when she doing the makeup.
Oh.
Yeah, and she also will keep like all the bottles and to recycle. So
I see. Oh my God. We need to know this makeup artist already. Very
I will be very
okay, good. Yeah. So we also have an interesting question from Zini. Zini, she said that, oh, I love the potted plant ideas, but we have also one question. So for waste that cannot be reduced, donated, and may end up in landfill, do you work with specialized recycles to avoid landfill? But I guess this is also really depends on if let's say this trash is able to recycle or not. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really, yeah, like you say. So for this one, we also try, depends what kind of the wastage also, which is I can't really hard to advise. And also because this package, we kind of like eliminate as least like trash as possible. So to be honest, it's quite hard to get like some recycle company come and collect that. And most of our, especially for decoration, they are able to be reused. So which I feel this one, it might be depends on the situation.
Yeah, I think the waste, or I mean, the majority of waste has been already minimized in a very, very minimal level because, as you mentioned just now, for food waste, you try to really plan of estimate by estimating the amount of participants. You will only prepare the food that is required, that is necessary, and also enough to just to also fill the stomach of the guests and also make sure they are happy with the amount of food. And then as well as when it comes to decorations, I guess what you just mentioned about the flowers, and you try to avoid a lot of like those unnecessary flower forms. But maybe also you could also talk about like the reusable props, because I know that on the Love Not Wasted package you have three themes, right? Three themes that will be four themes. Okay, sorry, my bad. Four themes that will be using the same reusable props, right? Yeah.
Correct. So for that one, so we have four themes. I also need to like so the
I
one
need to remember.
yes, the branches twig, which is you kind of like you can reduce the twig and the props. So you just reuse like the branches. No, those things that can be reused. Then we got another theme, which is the potted plant.
Oh, okay.
For the potted plant, they were just rented from the nurseries, then they will just give it back again.
Oh, they rent from nursery and then you return the potted plant back.
Plant, yes. So which is the thing that they have to be very careful. So while they are delivering to the venue.
Nice.
Then also we got another theme, which is, let me think, fresh flowers, which is a lot of people they will prefer with this. But for this, we will focus on the local bloom instead.
Yeah. Local blooms to reduce the carbon footprint of transporting anything imported from overseas.
And the last one is the dried flowers, which is they'll be reusing the fresh flowers from like the previous event. They feel like, okay, it's a good condition, they'll just make it a dry flower and reuse it again.
Awesome.
So basically all the things is being recycled or being reused instead of like
yeah, I guess this is very important, especially when it comes to any event organizers, because reusable props will be I mean can try to be creative on even though you are using the same reusable props for every event, but you could also adjust the positions and also the angles and also the layout to make it more versatile and make it more flexible. Giving a flexible to you also will be able to boost some of your creativity by avoiding a lot of like those unnecessary trash. And I guess most importantly, you are able to save money as well.
And there's one very good example from our previous wedding. So because they have like wedding ceremony and also the dinner reception at the same day. So what they did is like they used the wedding arch for the morning session, and they used the arch again as a photo booth backdrop during the dinner reception. Which is you get to reduce the flowers, at the same time you also save up some of the money in order to get two different areas of the decoration.
Smart.
Which I feel this is quite a good idea. So perhaps you guys can like consider about it. You can just discuss with your decorators. Maybe they can enhance a little bit for the photo booth backdrop. You just need to top up a little bit more. So I think perhaps you guys can like consider about one of the ideas for the decoration.
Cool. Okay, apparently we have quite a lot of questions today. Very, very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so we have question from zerowaste.feed. What about serving alcohol, and what's your advice on drinks to serve?
Okay, this is really a good idea because last time when we discussed it about during the zero waste pledge, you guys also mentioned about this. So this is a thing that we are working on it. We kind of like working with some of the bartenders, which is serve draft beers. So you have the bottles and everything. Yeah. So instead of like just serving cans, you can just doing draft beers. Then you just have to rent it for the glasses.
You can refill from the whole drum.
Yes, correct.
I think it's a very good idea because like I also see some of like the kombucha vendors when they come to the event, they will just get the whole drum here, and then when they wanted to drink any kombucha is not alcohol. Okay, yeah, so just refill the kombucha, which is act as a very healthy sparkling probiotic drinks.
Yes.
Nice. And then I can see, we have also Elsie. She said, "Oh, can you open a branch in Sabah, please?" This is really up to event. It's not under my scope already. So your other...
But we don't have a branch we don't have a branch in Sabah, but we do travel as well. So perhaps you can just PM us so we can discuss further.
Cool. Yeah, and we also have questions from our followers. Baptisia, can you share some of the zero waste wedding favors in your package?
Okay.
But maybe you could go first.
So for wedding package, I mean now we still like coming for different options, but the one thing that you can be considered, which is like just now I mentioned the succulents, which is you can use it as a decoration. At the same time, you also get to take it back as a wedding favors, and perhaps edible is kind of a good option as well. So it definitely
like basil, rosemary, Thai basil, those kind of herbs.
Herbs, and also like edible stuff like dessert, like chocolate and everything. Just you have to be more mindful about the packaging. So some of the things that, or maybe I think one idea they're giving like fruits. So once you just eat, then no more waste already. So some of the ideas you can consider. So it really depends on like what the things which is more useful for your guests. And also at the same time align with your budget.
And I also I feel that it's because I didn't really attend a lot of wedding before, but I know that like such a big wedding can be quite very useful when it comes to like the photograph album. But I also like during this, during our discussions about Love Not Wasted package, you also have a very, very interesting parameters that you consider, which is the way, you do not print any. If let's say the guests do not request, you actually do not have even a physical thumb drive. So maybe you could share this.
Yeah, so because this one, we also from our past experience, a lot of our couple, they don't really need a photo album. So every time when we have to like check with the photographer, they will say this complimentary, they want to just reduce the price, and so the couple just take it. So we kind of like in the middle person, we kind of know like they are not really using that. So in this package, we come out with we just communicate with the photographers. So they won't have a complimentary photo album in this package unless the couple they really need that, they will pay for it. Like some people, if they pay for it, means it really matters them. So means they need them, only they pay for it. So that's why we also feel like for the thumb drive, since everything we can just go online, we can just download from online, which is the thumb drive.
Yeah.
That's why we come out with this solution saying that they just get to have like the online access for their photos. So for the photo album and also the thumb drive, they will like additional extra for that.
Nice. And Yeah, I guess we cover a lot of ways in terms of the potential ways,
Yeah.
but also would be also interesting to know because you have already covered like a lot of waste prevention on for example on a zero waste wedding. But I would also like to know, and maybe also the audience would like to also know about like what is the ways that you still struggle with, like with avoiding? Yeah. Do you have any come across
Mm,
your mind?
perhaps invitation cards. Like,
Ah,
even though invitation, we there's like e-invites, it's like kind of an awesome way to reduce the waste. But also there's some of the people, they still prefer physical invitation cards. So it kind of like
mm,
so for that one, we talked to our vendors also. What we did is we try to use like recycle paper or FSC paper.
yeah.
So, I mean, we still do printing. So I mean, maybe it's an invitation card, but perhaps you guys can consider about e-invite as well. Since now there's a lot of portal that you can get to have a free design,
Mm.
and some of our couple, they use it like the Google form. So it's easier for you all to like to manage the guest list. So the best
Oh,
part is you get to save out a lot of money.
okay. From printing all the papers.
Because I know that FSC paper might cost more sometimes
Yeah.
for FSC paper.
Yes.
So that's why you can consider about e-invitation card. So that's why in our package, not with the package, we also do like different e-invites. We do like animated e-invitation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a short GIF, so people can see like this and moving. So it won't just go very boring, like just one PDF file. They have like some of the things like GIF file. They can like come up with the details and everything according to your team.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Zini, which I think also quite interesting. So she said that, can you speak more about sustainable event venues? For example, venues that are using renewable energy or green building certified. Are there such venues in Malaysia at the moment?
To be honest, right now, I think not. It's quite hard for us. I mean, if you guys, everyone know about this venue, you can just let us know. Because to be honest, in Malaysia, it's quite hard for us to fight like green building certified venue with all the things. So again, what we say, because like we have to be more creative while planning for the eco-friendly, I mean sustainable events. So since now we don't really have a lot of access to get to do all these things, so we just have to be more creative on the venue option selection.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm thinking perhaps you can try, instead of like for the venue, you can consider about doing your wedding on daytime, so you get to like save up
Oh, the
emission,
natural lighting. Yeah.
natural lighting, yes. So for the carbon footprint emission, so which is, and also for the venue, perhaps you also can consider which is you find the location that which is more convenient for your guests. Because if we try to so one of our couple, they are from where, Germany, so all of
Mhm.
their guests also from like different from overseas. So what they do,
Ah.
they use the hotel, which they choose Lee Meridian, because they get to use LRT as well, and which is
Mm.
the location is just in the city center, so it's easier for their guests to travel in. So perhaps
Mm.
right now we have like limited resource. Maybe we can consider some of the aspect in terms of like choosing for the venue.
Yeah, and I also read about like your future plan, also considering about to offset the carbon footprint
The
of
company.
the events. Yeah, this is very very interesting because I have never seen so far lah. I have never seen any event organizers that are planning to have this kind of like offset calculators to calculate your carbon footprints, and maybe to offset in the future by planting a trees or contribute to any environmental awareness program. Yeah, so maybe you could share us a little bit about this future plan.
Yeah. So for this one, because we also find sometimes it's quite hard for us to eliminate some of the carbon footprint emission. So that's why
Yeah.
we have kind of thought like maybe we can do some things. So while we're doing the research, how we can do it, like to eliminate the carbon footprint, we came across a organization. It's called Plant a Tree or something. I also forgot. So which is it's quite nice that they have like you can just key in from which location, like maybe from Malaysia until, because we did destination wedding, so we also find that it's hard to avoid all these things. So perhaps instead of like we don't want to do this, then maybe we can come up with these ideas. So there's like you can from Malaysia to maybe to Vietnam. So what, like how many carbon footprint will be reproduced from the flight? Then from there they will like telling you like how much like tree you should plant to offset the carbon footprint. So which is why it's a bit interesting as well, and also it kind of like a gimmick or like things to encourage couples to do a good also.
Nice. Okay, we also have questions all the way from Philippines. Yeah, so he said or she said, by the way, I am Dong Dugong from the Philippines. Hello, and would love to ask if there is really a biodegradable plastic such as also biodegradable plastic. But I guess this question is a very, very good questions, but it might not related to, maybe it's related, but if let's say Juvian has some input to share, if not, then I can share from my personal point of view.
I think you can share from
Okay. Yeah. So I guess if let's say you would like to talk about like biodegradable plastics, I guess it's very, very important for us to do our own research, because there are a lot of industry claiming that biodegradable plastic is able to biodegradable. It's claimed to be biodegradable, or it's claimed to decompose within certain months. But so far, I have not successfully to sort of decompose any biodegradable plastic at my home scale or home composting method. So, so do your own research, and then if I'm not mistaken, a lot of biodegradable plastic they need to be decomposed in certain temperature and also certain pressure. So if the question is if there's really a biodegradable plastic, yes, there is technically, but I'm not sure how the effect is. Yeah. So for zero waste, go zero waste, and we do not need any biodegradable plastic, because we are more focusing on avoiding preventions like Juvian shared, and also reducing. Yeah. Hope I answer your questions, and thank you for your questions from Philippines. Yeah, and Ben Ho says save money and save Mother Earth. And we have Elsie saying that true, some dog gifts doesn't really useful and eventually throw away, which I find it makes sense, because like a lot of dog gift sometimes we don't really need as a like for example, like for a free pants, we already have more than 5 pants at our home. Yeah, so I guess it's more on like a to justify if this will be useful. Like for example, if let's say something I'm not sure, but some like from your experience, what kind of dog gift will be most useful?
Most useful. The edible things I think is the most useful one, so people can just eat. But I mean, I understand that for the wedding favor, some of the people they might want to have like memory things. So one of our couple, they do like seed jar.
Oh,
so seed jar.
Seed jar. What is seed jar?
Which is like you can plant your own like
seed jar. Seed jar. Yeah. Okay. Good. Like those planter pots that can plant something up. But I think this is very, very useful.
Yeah. So that's very interesting also.
Oh, so and our friends from Philippines saying that thanks, because I am also an advocate of banning of single-use plastic in my town in the Philippines. Good job. Yeah, and then we also have comments from Ahmad. Perhaps we should stop the practice of giving dog gifts altogether. I think this is also some consideration that event organizers should consider, because giving dog gifts, you can if your clients or your guests would love to, but if let's say it's something that you would like to avoid and people don't mind, I guess it's good to skip. Because if let's say I mean, like the experience is more important when you attend a wedding, because I guess the most memorable experience will be living during the wedding itself. It's not
atmospheres and everything.
Yeah, it's not the material or the substance that you get from the wedding. Yeah, I guess it's all the memories. And we have a questions on Instagram, but I'm not sure if I understand it correctly. She asked, "What do you think of event industry this year?" I think it's a question that asking like. I think it's a question that
event industry is it?
This year, yeah, during this pandemic.
Okay. So I think it's being slow in this this for events industry. But I also feel because of this pandemic, a lot of things that we can be considered as well. The first, maybe we can change. We can consider about to doing like maybe smaller scale of the wedding because of the pandemic, because of like the social distancing and things like that. So we have to bring about more thoughts on like how to plan for the wedding. And some of the event planners, they also come up with like virtual wedding. So it kind of like helps for the carbon footprinting. So all the guests that have come. So these are things that it might help in terms of like in wedding industry, also at the same time also like help to save the planet also.
Nice. Okay, I guess we clear all the questions, and I think we are approaching the end of the sessions, because if let's say we exit the time, Instagram will cut us off halfway. Yeah, so I guess maybe before we close the sessions, which is going to be our last we have another questions from Zini. So maybe we could answer the last one. Okay, these questions block our face already. Okay, so Zini asks, thanks for entertaining my questions. It's not entertaining. We are very, very honored to answer your questions, Zini, because it's a very, very good questions and we all learn from each other. Yeah, and this is really interesting. And how do you communicate and advertise eventistry to the consumer that are not as environmentally conscious? I think this is a very good one. And beyond environmental benefits, how much are the cost savings from using eventistry compared to an average event planning company?
Okay, this is really a good question. So for the event, as an eventistry, we not just like trying to be educate like all the couples, like you have to be more eco-friendly, you have to be like eco-friendly minded. So what we are doing is just provide options. So for example, like decoration, the most important and the basic one, the decoration. So usually we'll just like recommend them, perhaps the wedding arch you can reuse. So it depends on their requirement. Only we come up with some of the suggestion and options as well, which is like the just now I mentioned about the photo arch, the wedding arch. So which they can think about, like, since you are spending the money for the wedding arch, do you want to just reduce the wedding arch as a photo booth backdrop, but maybe adding some of the money to top up a little bit? So that's why this is the things that usually we recommend to the couple. So we are not telling we're not telling them that you have to be reusing the wedding arch because you already spent the money for the flowers, then the flower will die just one time. So which is we're telling them that you can save some of the costing if you do this. That we try to like another example, which is the invitation card. So we can, because a lot one of our couple, their guests all are like they are computer accessible, so they will know how to use WhatsApp, email. So what they do is they prefer to have like Google Form instead of like the physical invitation card. So it's easier for them to consolidate with all the RSVP, which I feel that this one you save up the money for the printing, but at the same time you also like get to help themselves for easy to consolidate the RSVP details, which is I feel we not necessary to telling them to go for paperless and everything, but you just have to tell them what the things that which is like applicable to them.
Okay, I need to chop you off already because Instagram has already warned me that we have around 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, so right now maybe we could have your if let's say you would like to advise the people that is on this live stream, regardless of individuals or regardless of event organizer, what would you like to advise? Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure. So you don't have to be like hero to save the planet. So you just have to be more mindful in your planning your events. and just giving some of the thoughts for the community and also the planet in the process. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so for the people from Instagram, Facebook we will close later because here it's more urgent. So for people from Instagram, so thank you so much for tuning in for our last Jom Zero Waste community live stream. My name is Sui, and we have Juvian from Eventistry sharing about zero waste wedding. I'm very, very thankful for everyone who tuned in on our last live stream of the month. And also thank you, Juvian, for also sharing about your event history stories and also the journey on how to host a zero waste wedding. Yeah, so till then, we hope you enjoyed all of our community live streams so far on Instagram and on Facebook. And if let's say you would like us to keep the spirits going on with all this community live stream, do comment and do share us your feedback. And yeah, so without further ado, we will end our sessions on Instagram. Bye bye, people from Instagram.
Bye.
And okay, cool. So now we have our Facebook. Yeah. So I guess on Facebook it's the same thing. Yeah. Can you hear on Facebook, Julian?
Yes.
Yeah. So on Facebook, I guess we did our closing on Instagram. Maybe Julian, if you have any additional points that you would like to mention, or have you mentioned everything?
So I mean, now since we have even though we have put a lot of research on how to make this eco-friendly wedding, but I'm sure there's the things that we might miss. So if you have any idea or any vendors you have come across to make the eco-friendly weddings or zero waste wedding or sort of event, just leave your comment below down there. So we love to hear that. And regardless whether or not you guys are getting married or you just came by to see how all went down, I just want to thank you for all the time, taking of time to reverse, and really appreciate that.
I guess it's a very, very important message that you try to convey just now. And also, yeah, most importantly, if let's say any of you from Instagram or Facebook who would like to know more about zero waste wedding, or you just wanted to organize a zero waste event, you could always refer to our website, Zero Waste Malaysia, to check out our free downloadable zero waste event handbook in 3 languages: Chinese, Bahasa, English. And also, if let's say you just maybe too busy to organize a low waste event, you could also PM Eventistry, because they are not just organizing low waste wedding, but also potentially you could also approach them to organize a low waste party or birthday party or a lot of services that you cover, right? So please go to
Eventistry.my.
Okay, www.eventistry.my to check more about Eventistry. Yeah, all right. So thank you so much, Juvian, for joining us. And I hope all of the people from Facebook and Instagram enjoy the sessions with this how to host a low waste wedding. Don't forget to follow Eventistry on Facebook page and Instagram. Yeah, so we will see you on our maybe next live stream. Bye-bye.
Bye.